So this is the video series of everyday reading, and this time we were reading uh, what is government. Mainly, the book is of social and political life of class 7 6th NCRT. So in this time we are discussing what is government, and after finishing the whole chapter uh, in the previous video we were discussing the questions. So now I will continue that same thing, the exercise and question. So we have exercise that uh, in this uh, portion we have to select which type of decisions and things are handled by local government, state government and central government. So let's see one by one. The first thing is the decision of government of India to maintain peaceful relation with Russia. Who has to handle this? Local government, state government or central government? Obviously all the foreign matter or the all the foreign relations deal on the central level. Next, the decision of government of West Bengal on whether to have board exam in class 8 for all the government schools. Hmm. So board exam in West Bengal, who will decide? State government, obviously. Introduction of two new trains between Dibrugarh and Kanyakumari. Dibrugarh or Kanyakumari? Hmm. So who will decide this? Where is Dibrugarh? I don't know. If Dibrugarh is in Tamil Nadu, then it will decide by the not local government. It will totally decide by the central government, but because there is no interference of mm, in railway, maybe a state government, but state government and both can decide, central government as well as there is a little bit chances decision making ability and yeah, have to state government. So but here I will say it should be by the state government. The decision of local and common well in the particular area village. Local well, who will? Local government. Hmm. Who will use this well to fill the water from this well? Who will make rules, regulations for this well? Obviously, local government. Decision to construct a big children park in Patna. Construct. Who will decide? If a little a park, that you can say that it may uh, decided by the local government, but it is a capital of a state and you have to build a big children park, then you have to take a permission by the state government. The decision of government of Haryana to provide the free electricity of all farmers. State government. Introduction of a new 1000 rupees note. Central government. So now we have to see the subjective questions. These are the interesting questions. What do you understand by the word government? List 5 ways in which you think the government affects your daily life. So we know the this time in our country there is a type of governance that is called democracy, and democracy means the rule of people. Democracy is for the people, by the people, to the people. Huh? So this was a famous um, definition of democracy by the Abraham Lincoln, who was the 16th, 11th, I don't know which president. So that person has given the definition of democracy. So this time we in India uh, there is a uh, democracy. So we can say governing government means to we can't say that government is and have for ruling on the people. This is not monarchy that you can say that for ruling on the people. You can say to drive our society from a very proper manner. We have need to government. Mm. And government is a assigned value, assigned power for assigned power to a specific team or committee. Hmm. Means in government, uh, several people, all the people of a state or country, they assign their power uh, to a specific group, a specific community team to handle all the things properly in any state. Hmm. So we can say this is the government. List 5 ways in which you think government affects your daily life. All the, you can say, every aspect of your life uh, affect by the government more or less. Hmm. Firstly, most important, education system, because we know all the higher, lower, and the basic education system is totally handled by the governments, state governments, central governments. So education, your lifestyle too, means how much Bijli is provided to you, what are the services in your area provided to you, is um, internet is pro- provided or not in your area, in your locality. It affects too much electricity and internet, your daily life, your lifestyle. Also we can say infrastructure that are built in our locality. So how much infrastructure and what are the qualities of infrastructure that were built in your locality. And also there are something, what are the things. We can say all the decisions that were taken by the uh, government to make any changes, to introduce any new rule for our society, new laws, to obey that. Hmm. So in lawmaking we can say, and also mm, it affects in the manner of mm, surviving to, we can say, basic needs. uh, Whether your basic need is fulfilling or not, because all the types of basic need is earned by our society, and how your society is running and functioning, it totally depends on governance and the power of governance, how they are uh, introduced to earn their livelihoods in your society. Whatever you earn money for your bread, clothes, shelter, education, health, and information, whatever you are earning and gaining from society, it totally affected by your government. Hmm. Oh, it was a simple question. We can easily say that our six necessities and the fundamental needs: roti, kapda, makan, shiksha, swasth, सूचना. Hmm. So next question. Name. Next question. What do you think the government need to make rule for everyone in the form of law? Yeah, brother. If you will not make the rules in the form of law, that then people will expand the verbal rules till infinity. They will make imaginary rule from itself. So it is necessary to make the rules in the law format, in the written format, basically, because you when you write some laws, some rules in the written format, then you provide them a limit. Hmm. Otherwise the people will start following the rule of other countries. Someone will come and he will says that ah, the this law of India is not suitable for me. I am not convenient to follow this, so I will follow the rule of a Brazilian government. Someone will come, I will say, he will say, this specific rule of Argentina is very very according to my interest, so I will follow that rule. I will not follow the Indian rule that are mentioned in the constitutions. Hmm. So for this reason we have to need to write the rules in the format of laws and the basically written format. Uh, so that is the importance. Next, name two essential feature of democratic government. So what are the two essential features you can say? So I think first essential thing that is better itself, that in which not it is a um, centric, the power is not centralized, but in this uh, um, in pseudo manner you can say, the power is decentralized. Hmm? So you have ability to change the ruler, you have the ability to change the government who have you chosen in your last election. So you have power to change, and basically we see correctly, then we are the not any other people is ruling on us. In the democracy we itself ruling on itself. Hmm. Through our chosen members. Hmm. So that is the one best feature of democracy. And the second best feature, in democracy each and everyone's votes value is equal. Equality is the, I think, a very very um, good feature of democracy, that here the each and everyone's value of presence is considered as one. No one can say that I am the rich than this guy, then my the value of vote will be considered as two. Because I have money two times from that guy. Huh? Someone came and he will says that so I have money 20 times from that guy, so my vote will consider as 14. Hmm? So that is not possible in democracy. Democracy says each and everyone's vote value is single. Huh? So that is a good feature of democracy. Next, what was the suffrage movement? What did it accomplish? So what was suffrage movement? So first of all, no, suffrage means right to vote. Movement means you can say movement, uh, andolan, when someone protests for his rights, when someone, a group of people, when they louds their sound in society to take uh, the equal opportunity, equality in society, then it is called movement. The suffrage movement are uh, performed by the mainly women's and the people who they are uh, very poor, but they have not right to vote, so they started a movement to right to elect their ruler, their government. So this movement was known as suffrage movement. And the next question is that what did it accomplish? Hmm. So it accomplished, and it uh, you can say it complemented our society. When this moment was uh, before this moment, when there was no right to vote to women and mainly poor people, huh? Um so that time only those peoples have to vote who has just money, a lot of money, and a lot of educations, informations, knowledge. So, and a huge population of country, state are not participating uh, in the election. So how you can say this is election of 50% people, 40% people, 30% people, means some group of people were coming and they choosing a government. So it is not right manner. This is not a proper way to elect any government. So after this movement, huh, the poor and as women as well, they got the right to vote. And by this manner you can say now we are performing the actual election in which everyone has to right to vote, huh, after a certain age. But you will, if you will see uh, the criteria of age also says you have limitations uh, yet now. Hmm. What the limitation of age says? Huh? Says that you have no knowledge about the elect. You have no knowledge about the politics, society. So you can't be the member of them who will decide the laws and the governance uh, rule that will be going to form for our society. So you are not enough to uh, give decision and contribute in decision making. So this thing, I think that is um, said in the criteria of age in the voting system. But you will see the same thing we will discuss in the next question, that most of the people they have not knowledge, um, proper knowledge, but they have right to vote. So what do they will choose? So in the next question we will also discuss the problem and the solution of this question. Hmm. Fifth question and last question. Gandhiji strongly believed that every adult in India should be given the right to vote. However, a few people didn't share his view. They feel that literate people who are mainly poor should not be given the right to vote. What do you think? Do you think this would be a form of discrimination? Give 5 points to support your views and share this with class. So in this question, Gandhiji strongly believed that every adult in India should be given to right to vote. However, a few people don't share his views. Hmm. They feel that illiterate people who are mainly poor, illiterate not main problem, problem is poor, should not be given the right to vote. What do you think? Do you think this would be a form of discrimination? Give 5 points to support your views and share these with the class. So the problem is here that the people are illiterate, so they are not enough to understand what are the rules, regulations, and the um, decisions can uh, be suitable for our society. Huh? And the second problem, illiteracy, after we saw that poor, the lack of resources. So brother, you if you see that uh, these both the problems, the problem of illiteracy and the problem of lack of resource, money, huh? These are correlated to each other. Hmm? The you will never see a person who has huge amount of money and he is illiterate, because this time or any time literacy and knowledge uh, hmm, pays some energies, says to pay to some energy, some investment. So the people who has no any resources to make themselves educated. So brother, you are saying that they are not illiterate, so they have no right to vote. So brother, go simply tell them what are the uh, policies in this election, and by the on the basis of that they can easily make decisions that who whom to vote them. They are illiterate, they can't write and read, huh? But they can hear, they have ears to hear the words. So go and tell them policies in the format of what sentences they will hear, they will judge your policies, and they will make decisions, and they can easily vote like a normal people. So the problem is not illiteracy. Huh. It is a problem, I know it's a problem, but it is not problem for the voting. Huh. It can be solved if you want, if you have intention to solve really. So now we will discuss the next chapter, chapter 4. It's chapter 4, unit 3, local government and administration. So local government, chapter 4, panchayat, panchayati raj. I'm not discussing about the web series, the film, the comedy show, not anything. I'm discussing about panchayati raj, but everyone should listen that, because you saw the panchayat, and not about panchayati raj, how shameful thing this is. So let's start. What is panchayati raj? It is a type of local government, you can say, very basic level governments. Panchayati raj, what happens after people elect their representatives? How are decisions made? Let look at how this takes place in rural areas. Here we look at the Gram Sabha, which is a meeting where people directly participate and seek answers from their elected representatives. It is a special day today. Everyone's rushing to get the Gram Sabha. To Do you know why? Because the Gram Sabha is holding its first meeting after the election of a new Gram Panchayat. The Gram Sabha is a meeting of all adults who live in area covered by the Panchayat. This could be only one village or a few villages. In some states, as in the example of above, village meeting in a held for each village. Anyone who is 18 years old or more and who has right to vote is member of Gram Sabha. The people of Hardas village are keen to find out what their new panchayat leader have planted for the village. Gram Sabha. The Gram Sabha meeting begins with a panchayat president who is also called the sarpanch and the members of the panchayat, the panch, presenting a plan of uh, re- repairing the road connected connects the village to main highway. After this discussion moves to subject of water and what water shortage. Every village panchayat is divided into wards. If that is a smaller area, each ward elects a representative who is known as ward member, panch. All the members of the Gram Sabha also elect a sarpanch who is the panchayat president. The ward panch is a sarpanch from the Gram Panchayat. The Gram Panchayat is elected for 5 years. The Gram Panchayat has a secretary who is also the secretary of Gram Sabha. This person is not an elected person but it is appointed by the government. The secretary is representative for calling the meeting of Gram Sabha and Gram Panchayat and keeping a record of proceedings. A village is called Teja begins meeting by saying the water problem in Hardas has become very acute. The hand pump water has gone well below the point up to which the ground has been drilled. We hardly get any water in the taps. Women have to go to the Suri River, which is 3 kilometers away to get water. One of the members suggests piping water from the Suru and making an overhead tank in the village to increase the supply. But the others think that this will be expensive. It is better they feel to deepen the hand pumps and clean the well for his season. They Tij Tij Tijia Tijia is a unique name. Tijia says this is not enough. We need to do something more permanent as groundwater levels seem to be going down every year. We were using more water than it seeping into the ground. Another member, Anwar, then tells everyone that he has seen ways to conserving water and refilling it in a village in Maharashtra, where he did once gone to visit his brother. It was called water watershed development and he had heard that the government gave money for this work. In this Brothers village people had planted trees, constructed check dams and tanks. Everyone thought this was an interesting idea, and the gram panchayat was asked to find out about in the detail. What is a gram sabha? In the meeting of gram sabha, so for what are the problems that are being discussed, what sort of solution are suggest being suggested. So there are two questions highlighted into this portion. What is gram sabha? Gram sabha is a simple meeting or simple group that solves the problem uh, and find the solutions of all the problem that is uh, going and in our local level. So this is a local level a governance system, you can say. Huh. In the meeting of gram sabha, so for what are the problems that are being discussed, what sort of solution are being suggested? In the gram sabha, mainly there is a problem of shortage of water. So in this um, gram sabha, it is discussed that there is a technique uh, uh, that was seen by a youth from another state, and technique to restoring the water for our village. So in that we have to start planting the trees, we have to make the dams, we have to need to make the tanks for storing more water in the raining seasons. So this was the solution that is provided by the gram sabha. The next item on the agenda for the gram sabha is the Jama Zamali Zamaliation of the list Gram Sabha. People below the poverty list BPL, which has the which has to be provided by the Gram Sabha. As soon as the list is read out, people being to whisper, Natwar has just bought a color TV and his son has set him a new motorcycle. How can you be below the poverty line? Suraj Mal Motors to the person seeing next to him. Sarkar says to Sukhi, Sukhi Bai, how did Birju's name get on the list? He had so much land. This list should have only poor people. And Om Prakash is a landless laborer who can barely make end meet. Yet this is not on the list. You know that both Natwar and Birju are the friends of Amir Chand, who can contract a Amir Chand's power. Sukhi Bhai says Amir Chand was the earlier Jamindar, landowner of the village, and still has control over lots of land. But we should get Om Prakash's name put in. The Sarpanch Panchayat's president noticed people whispering and asked if anyone has anything to say. Saroj tries to provoke Suraj Mala to ask about the Natwar and Birju, but he keeps quiet. Amirchand is sitting in the Gram Sabha, keeping an eyes on everyone. This, then Saroj gets up and says that Om Prakash's name should be in the BPL list. Others agree that he and his family are very poor. The Sarpanch asked how his name had been missed out. The person who did the survey of BPL. The Gram Sabha is a key factor in making the Gram Panchayat its role and be responsible. It is the place where all plans for the work of Gram Panchayat are placed before the people. The Gram Sabha prevents the Panchayat from doing wrong things like misusing money or favoring certain people. It plays an important role in keeping an eyes on the elected representatives and in making them responsible to the person who elected them. Families says Om Prakash's house was locked when I went there. He may have gone somewhere to do for work. The Sarpanch gives instruction that the Om Prakash family's income be looked at, and if it is less than what has been decided by the government, his name should be included in the list. What are the problem with the BPL list that the Gram Sabha was finalizing? What was this problem? Hmm. The problem with the BPL list is that in the BPL list, below poverty list, uh, which got some support by the government, in there are some people included in that. They are actually not poor. They have enough resources to survive, but there are such people who they are really poor. They are not gaining the support by the government. They are not in the BPL list. So this is the problem in the BPL list that is discussing right now. What did you think Suraj Mal keep, kept quiet even though Suraj asked him to speak? So, brother, it is called the power. When the your hands are tied by the your ruler, then you can't raise voice, uh, such voice that may discomfort to your ruler. So that is the same thing that is happening here because he is on the front of his land honor. Have you seen any similar incidents when people are unable to speak from themselves? Why do you think that happened and what prevented the person from speaking? Have you seen any similar incident when people are unable to speak for themselves? Why do you think that happened and what prevents the person to speak? There is a one reason, the power, the resources. Uh, resources are also a type of power. So power prevents the people to speak on the front of more powerful people than them. They have fear to the person will discomfort me if I will raise the voice against him, and such voice that make a discomfort for him. So the people think we should not raise voice. Let's be quiet. How can the Gram Sabha prevents the panchayat from doing what is likes? How can the Gram Panchayat prevent the panchayat from doing what it likes what it lacks. Huh. They in panchayat sabha or any sabha or any government level, it is not discussed or uh, we should not solve such things. We are according to like or dislike. We should counter the problems on the level of need or necessary or unnecessary. The gram panchayat, we will discuss this. What is gram panchayat? The gram panchayat meets regularly, and one of its main tasks to implement development programs for all villagers that comes under it. And as you have seen, the work of gram panchayat has to be approved by the gram sabha. In some state gram sabha from committees like construction and development committees. These committees include some members of gram sabha and some from the gram panchayat who works together to carry out a specific task. The work of gram panchayat includes the construction and maintenance of water source, roads, drainage, school buildings, and other common properties resources, living and collecting local taxes, including government scheme in executing government schemes related to generating employment in the village. There are a lot of good works. Source of fund for the panchayat: collection of tax on houses, marketplace, etc. Government SIM funds received through various department of the government through the Jan, Janpad and Jila Panchayats. Donation from committees work etc. Let's see what the Hardas Gram Panchayat was able to do. Do you remember the option that were suggested to solve the water problem in the Gram Sabha of Hardas village? When the Hardas Gram Panchayat held a meeting, this point was brought up again by some of the member panchayat. This meeting was attended by the sarpanch, ward member, and the secretary. Gram Panchayat members first discussed the suggestion to depend two hand pumps and clean one well so that the village would not go without water. The sarpanch suggested that since the panchayat had received some money from the maintenance of hand pumps, this could be used for completing this work. The member agreed and the secretary recorded their discussion. The members then went on to discuss the option for a long term solution. They were sure that the Gram Sabha members would ask questions at the next meeting. Some punch asked whether the watershed program would make a substantial difference to the water level. A lot of discussion followed. In the end of it was decided that the Gram Panchayat would approach the block development office and get more information of the scheme. So, what decision were taken by the Gram Panchayat? It is decided that we will more know about the scheme about which the that guy is actually discussing and suggesting. Do you think it was necessary for them to take these decisions, and why? It is necessary. Water is the most essential thing. How can you not make decisions and think about this? For the above description, write down one question that the people could ask of the panchayat in the next Gram Sabha meeting. So not only the problem of water, but the problem of all type of fundamental need, basic need that is completely distorted in our society, in our village. How could we solve these all types of problems? Uh, So these type of questions may be asked in the next Gram Sabha according to saying the situations and problem of the village. So that's fine for today. Thank you very much.